meeting to order. I appreciate everybody having patience for me while I work through that. I just got back from Eugene and literally drove in and walked in the door. So can we please have a roll call?
First, Chair Knight.
Present.
David Wheaton.
Present.
Thank you. Timothy Harris.
Present. Present.
Thank you. Alexander Lemire.
I'm here.
Shelley Reynolds. You've got Shelley there. Kyle Schwab.
Here.
Kyle. John Brown. Do not see him here this evening. Chris Barney.
Here.
Diane Castillo. Here. Victoria Rizzo. Here. And Heidi Hinshaw.
Present.
Okay.
For those of us in the room here, let's go ahead and rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God,
Indivisible.
liberty and justice for all. All right. Thanks, guys. All right, let's go ahead and take a pause here. Let's leave sufficient time for public comment. Anybody with public comment? I think I would just see, what do we have, Paul? We'll give it a beat here.
Hi, Will. It's Paul.
Hey, Paul, any public comment for us tonight, bud?
Yeah, I thought I'd throw something out there since I'm here. Noticed 3 of your members' terms would have expired at the end of 2020 if they hadn't been extended. So I thought it might be worthwhile checking with those 3 if they're okay with their 6 months extension. That would be Kyle, John Brown, and Chris Barney. I see 2 of you are here, so you're probably cool with a 6-month extension. I'm not sure about John Brown. So I just wanted to mention that, see if you all wanted another 6 months on the panel.
When we did the work with the committee work, or when the council did that, they decided to extend our terms by 6 months to the middle of June. I believe this is done to possibly help with recruiting. But that would mean that you, who would have been expired at the end of this year, would have gone back in for interviews if you wanted to redo it. But instead of having to go through that process, they just extended it by 6 months. So at this point, you have been automatically extended. And Paul was wondering if you, Kyle, and John Brown, who got those automatic extensions, were good with it. And if you had any comments on it, I assume you're good with it since you're here tonight. At the end of that 6 months, at the point where I would have to reapply and all that. Correct. Yeah, correct.
And everyone whose term will be ending, they will be notified in case they want to re-up.
I guess I wasn't fair on the extension thing, and I don't remember receiving anything about it. Yeah, I think it all kind of happened pretty fast in the last couple months. All right, any other public comment? Okay.
Will,
Yeah.
I'm very concerned that people aren't wearing their masks correctly and you're all in the same room together, and that's putting your lives at risk. And I think it would be remiss of me not to say something.
Oh, are you asking to talk about Chris over here with his nose?
Yes.
Is that what you mean? Okay. Chris, do you mind? Hey, bud. Heidi, or excuse me, Amber, you're gonna walk us through something here. We had some, comments from the public
Yes.
that were unable to be given at the time due to technical issue, and they have been requested to be added, under the public comment. We closed that meeting, we want, he's asked us to put those on the record for that meeting. Can you walk us through the process of how we get that done?
Yes, yeah. So as you all may or may not remember, at our November meeting, Paul had public comments that he meant to give during the usual public comment period. There was some issues with being able to unmute, so they weren't able to be given at the meeting, and he followed up with an email that I believe you all were copied on, with what those comments were. So how we can go about incorporating those into the record is, we can call for a vote to reopen the record, enter those comments in, vote to close the record, and then go about editing the, meeting minutes as we normally do.
So if, somebody in the group wanted to, or if we needed to, somebody from the group can entertain a motion to open, then we have to vote to accept those, and then we have to vote to close the meeting. Is that right? In that order, or
Yes.
would it be easier for, would it be easier or maybe okay with Paul if we said, hey, can we introduce those into this month's meeting? Or is it imperative to Paul, maybe we can get him to ask, that it goes definitely on that meeting? Would that be easier if we just said, hey, let's add those in, or?
It might be easier, this is just the way that was described to me as the method to do it.
Okay, if we want them to be, if Paul would like them to be on the record for that meeting, we need to do that.
Yes.
Paul, do you have a preference, or you just want it to be on the record in general?
I think I'd probably prefer it be attached to the November meeting.
Okay, so then if there's anyone, I guess then, if, just totally throwing it out there in case it doesn't happen, if the group says, if nobody makes the motion, the group says one way or the other, whether to open it, close it, to accept it, I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, there's all things that can happen, I hope not, but is there any standard? This is really unique, and nothing I've ever encountered before.
Yeah, when I talked to, Chris about this, he said this has come up like once before, might have been at a different meeting, I don't know if it was DAC or not, and then this was the method that they followed to incorporate the comments. I'm not sure what happened to this discussion, I guess, didn't discuss that route.
Okay, so I guess we will, see if anyone would like to entertain a motion to open the record for November. Actually, what we should do is make it all in one, and we only have to do it once. Can we do it that way? We vote to open the record, attach those to November, and then close. Can we do it all in one vote?
I don't know if you could open and close in one vote, maybe, but you might be able to do it in two, I think that might make sense.
Perfect, okay.
All right, I'm happy to do that. Make the motion to open the November meeting for adjustment of the minutes.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, second is, by Diane. All in favor, please raise a hand. Is there any opposed? Okay. All right, so now we are, open for adjusting the, November, meeting, or adding that in. Would anyone like to, I guess maybe we can do this in a two-step process? Add this to the record and then close the record for November? There would be a motion and a second and a vote for that.
And for, everyone's reference, I've gone ahead and shown, what the comments are, so this is what, all the highlighted version is what the comments, would be that, Mr. Wilcox, had included in his email in, November.
All right, I will make the motion to include these public comments in the November record.
This is Shelley. I'll second that.
Question, does this say, I can't see what's on it, does this say that, this was done in an email way you're not making inferences to what Paul's saying and editorializing it.
Yeah.
Maybe to say this is what he wanted to be said in the way that he said it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll adjust my motion to include that there be a comment indicating that this is added later because of technical problems.
And then maybe suggest a copy and paste of his email.
Okay. I'm wondering if maybe the best option would be then, to do that and bring these minutes back to be approved at the next meeting, so we can make those changes. Otherwise I can try to make them on the fly now,
Yeah, maybe we do that, maybe we make the motion that we, make that, like we just said, bring those back for, the February meeting. That way it makes it cleaner, that way you're not having to editorialize something that you wrote, it's already written, we just copy and paste it.
works for me.
I'm comfortable with that.
Is there a second for that?
This is Shelley. I'll second that.
Thank you, Shelley. All in favor, raise a hand or say. I can't see
Yeah.
on the share screen.
Yeah.
Here, give us 1 second, guys. Okay, now vote again, please. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, thank you. Okay, so, I guess that goes ahead. Oh, while we're doing this, let's go ahead and jump into the November meeting minutes and see if there were any changes that anyone would like to make.
This
Start
is
with
Shelley. On page 3, paragraph 1, line 2, probably should read backyard farming and homegrown.
Could you repeat, exactly where that was? It was page 3.
Page 3, paragraph 1, line 2, end of the sentence. Backyard farming instead of famming.
Got it, thank you.
You bet. That's it.
Any others, guys? I think I have a couple here I can throw out. Page 4, second paragraph from the bottom, it reads, Chair Knight asked if he could speak of the photos he's taken of the rat damage. Maybe we could clarify that was Mr. Stewart, because I didn't take any pictures of rat damage. And then, does anyone, can anyone recall this mysterious woman? I'm wondering if it was maybe Diane that was making the comments?
Where?
Page 5, third paragraph down. It was someone in the live meeting, and maybe we can also reference the sign-in log, because I don't recall if there was another, it was you two, and then we had, Nicole Lawrence, Ms. Lawrence. So I'm wondering if it was Diane possibly, who's a mysterious speaker.
Yes,
Okay. So then there's multiple spots where then you are referenced, knowing that that is you being referenced, then did you get a chance to read that and see if you are okay with what you're being put on the record for?
yeah, I breezed through it, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so I caught the first reference, anyone be able to point out the other places, so I can.
It continues through there in that paragraph, there's the same speaker in the middle of that paragraph. And then, the next paragraph down, the third line down. And then the next paragraph says she asked the code officer. then I believe on another page, she's also referenced, which we might get to that. Um, I believe there's another one, I don't know if I marked it or not.
Okay.
But I will say though, in that fourth paragraph, that starts with Mr. Damgan, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines down, it reads, also organic free-range eggs are much more expensive in the store, and so keeping them in your background is a frugal alternative. So they would say in your backyard, or in your yard, or something like that. Okay, page 6, I believe it, second line down, it says also regarding the previous speaker's testimony. I'm reading another spot.
Page 6, second paragraph down.
Let's see here, sorry, 1, 2, I guess it would be the fourth paragraph, if you count the COVID one, was the top one that starts with COVID in one paragraph. So it would be, I guess, what, third full paragraph down, but then second line towards the end.
Sorry, I'm looking at page 6, but I don't.
Let me see here. Right there. Am I right? Am I on the page? Oh, yes, okay. So go back up. Also regarding the previous speaker's testimony.
Thank you.
And then I think I found one more, on page 7. Third line down, it says the speaker was asked if she was there.
Okay, it looks like in that first paragraph, there's a lot of the speaker, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's all.
I think page 9, second paragraph down, they recalled the story of a friend who went to, it wasn't me, but a friend went to one of his favorite places. And he took it to, let's see, on page 12, third paragraph, Mr. Chairman, I suggested also posting it on the Nextdoor app. He also wants to make sure that all city meetings are posted. I believe, I believe the comment that or what I was trying to express was that we should post all of the Zoom information public meetings, so it's listed publicly. That way if somebody hears last minute that there's a topic that they want to find out about that night, they can get that information readily and hop on to make, to be involved. I think it helps out with access more. I'm pretty sure that was the intent that I was trying to express there.
Okay, so I've reworded it to, he also wants to make sure that all Zoom information for city meetings is posted publicly on the website.
The next paragraph down from that, looking at the numbers, and I could be wrong, maybe this is what he said, but it says, let's see, in the middle there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down after technical data, it says he thinks it is important to know I'm reading it wrong, but the math adds up to 111%. And maybe if I was at the meeting and I don't understand what that meant, maybe that's not exactly written in a way that conveys what was trying to be written. I don't know what the numbers were, what the context was, but am I reading that right? That 38% is rent burden, but then 55% are renters and 56% are homeowners? Because then if you're a homeowner, you're not rent burden. Like, I don't really understand what that portion was trying to convey. So I'm sorry.
I think, we can, since we have to bring these minutes back, next month anyway, I can listen to the recording and see if we can find out if those were the right numbers or not.
And then, just double checking it, the name didn't bring back to me, but on the department report, next page, it said there was a discussion about a potential play area and the trail is set to be named Waven. Is that correct? Waven or?
Yeah, I believe, it is pronounced Waven, but, it was told to me it's spelled that way, and I know we have some people on the Parks Advisory Committee here, so I'm not sure if anyone is able to confirm if that spelling is correct. Anybody know?
WABUN for the multi-use trail along the Sandy River.
David, do you know? Is that spelled right?
It is spelled right. It's W-A-B-U-N. It's at least on my records, it was pronounced Wobbin.
Real quick, David, do you know what that is referencing? I'm sorry, I'm going off topic here, but it seems very interesting.
I'm not sure I'm with you, Will. What the name is referencing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it has some sort of history behind it. Or do we get off the Scrabble bag and pick 5 letters?
Off the top of my head, it is not a local name, but it is a Native American name for the east wind, and
Okay.
it refers to the earth coming to a looking for the winter as a renewal time towards spring. And the eagle is represented as that wind, and I can't remember anything else.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for sharing. That's great. Thank you. Okay. Let's turn it over to you guys again. Are any other things anybody caught? Changes to be made? Okay. Seeing none, we will make those changes and bring those back for February. Okay. So then, let's move to topic 2 under review and approval of minutes. We have the December rent burden town hall meeting, which we are going to review only. I'm assuming anything that we find we're going to pass along to planning.
Correct, yeah, so as I, included in the, email to you all, since, we're present at the meeting, we want to give you the opportunity to review the minutes and correct anything if need be, but it will be planning commission that approves the minutes, so we'll pass on any edits that you have to them.
All right, go ahead and open it up. I can only see 4 people, so Shelley, I see Shelley up there.
Just my first name is spelled incorrectly on and off through the minutes. There's no second E.
Okay. Thank you for that. Anybody else? Somebody thought, I can only see Everybody good? Okay. All right, well, I guess let's make those comments and pass those along to planning. Let's see, discussion item, number 4, discussion item, appointment of chair, vice chair. There was originally some question about this, just like the extension that we had of the timeframe and our people's position, the expiration of that. There was a change. We typically had gone January 1st, new year, new vice chair and chair. That was actually also written into the code to extend that to the first meeting after that, so the present July meeting or the first meeting after that. We may want to see if, I don't know, for me, I was kind of hoping we were going to do that again, because I think it's been awkward to have people that are brand new to the group, possibly never visited a meeting before, possibly don't know the people they're going to be voting for, to then potentially vote for somebody for a chair or vice chair they've never even met before. I felt kind of maybe it would be a little bit more appropriate to spend 6 months with somebody and then make a decision. So maybe that was one thing we missed and could send as potentially a comment in the future that becomes an issue. But I suppose we'll wait until the summer to make those changes as well.
That would be actually hard to do, because what if you decided you weren't going to be on the committee anymore? We have to have a chair.
Right, but let's say, what I meant was is that if the new people start, my term starts or your term starts in July, and then January 1st, we vote, that's 6 meetings potentially where we get to know each other a little bit and decide.
January 1st of 2022?
No, sorry. What I meant was that if, with the extension of the term, right? Oh, yeah, you're right. It would have, you're right. I see what you mean.
Yeah, you can't, and the other committees aren't doing it.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to number 2, CAC website update.
Did we need to move out of the reconsideration for November's meeting? Did we ever finish that?
Oh, sorry, Tim. There was a number of changes that needed to be made.
Okay.
If we want to sit here and wait for the changes, we could, but I think we decided to move on
Okay.
from November, bring those back in for February with the amended changes, and then re-vote on that so that everybody has a chance to review it, make sure everything's fixed correctly. We got one more
Okay.
chance. There's a lot of edits to do in there.
All right.
Oh, and speaking to the appointment of chair and vice chair as well, I think I might consider taking a year off of doing that here in July. So if there's anybody that would like to do that or would like to consider that, please let's open that discussion and get working in that direction. And maybe we'll want to lead a couple meetings here coming up soon and get the hang of it and feel okay about doing it. I know you guys can all do it, and we do a great job at it as well. So maybe keep that in mind. All right, so discussion item number 2, CAC website updates. Maybe I'll go ahead and kind of turn this over to Kyle and Heidi and let them talk about what kind of was done and the work they put in, and which is amazing, by the way. Thank you guys. Or was there anything you had to start us out with?
Yeah, I think basically what we're looking for is what changes you all want to make, and then, whether you add edits tonight or are good with how it looks now, and whatever you decide, I can take that to Kevin, who works on the city website, and we can work on getting those changes implemented. If there's anything that for some reason maybe it's just not possible to add like a certain feature to the website, I can bring that back to you and we can work on it. Or if you need time to consider the changes that you might want to have tonight and bring it to the next meeting, that works too. Just wherever you guys want to take it with this, but at the end step will be me taking the changes to Kevin to then hopefully be able to make them on the website.
So as I recall, I believe I missed the meeting where this was discussed last time. So I'm not sure what landed where. But I guess I'll just say that what Heidi and I put together is, certainly a rough draft, and it was kind of designed with the thought of, it is sort of a running list of the things that we have / we are working on, and also allows names to be put to faces, and so that anyone in the community who's thinking about joining the CAC or is curious what the CAC has done can easily go to this site and be navigated to our minutes and any documentation pertaining to any of the projects that the CAC has been a part of. Things like the housing needs analysis, for example, and some of the rent burden meetings. Again, it was just a kind of a very rough draft that we had prepared, and if I'm not sure what the city's capacity is to put any of this together, if at all, but it just seemed a good sort of communication outreach tool for us.
Excellent work, you guys. Thank you. Any thoughts or comments? Chris? I think I did notice one thing in there. I got to get my copy of it. I don't know if it's just the time this was made or what happened, but I noticed on the second page where it lists us, I noticed it lists Heidi as the alternate, but I thought she was made a full member. Yeah, we can go ahead and update those. Yeah, it's been, well, it looks like the upcoming event was September 2nd of 2020. So yeah, it's been a few months.
Yeah, we put this together in the fall, I think. I want to say October, maybe September. I don't remember. It was so long ago, but it was definitely 2020. I can say that.
I love it. I think these are great, great information and topic.
I just found our emails, Kyle. It was September.
Thank you.
Maybe we put was there a rent burden slideshow?
Yeah.
Can we add that in, and maybe we use this as a reference to help promote the rent burden on an annual basis, assuming that we're still going to be part of the co-host of it or hosting it?
Yeah, we could definitely add that.
I know, reviewing our notes, a big topic about the chickens was providing chicken resources. Is this something that we would want to do, or is this, that we want to offer those chicken resources, or is this part of a bigger program that's going to be being started because of the adoption of the code?
Yeah, I think that would probably more likely come through the code compliance section of the website. You guys did definitely provide really important feedback on that. But I know, like, I've talked with Chris, and we'll be at some point putting together that chicken resource packet. So I don't know that it has to be like through you guys, but we do intend to include one for people.
Okay. Any thoughts or comments, guys? Look good to everybody? I love it. It's great work.
Really good.
Since this was a ways back, the municipal broadband would have to be updated as well, since the feasibility study came out after this was put together.
I have a question. I was wondering, pictures are nice, but I like, the CAC project community outreach where it has some photos
photos. Did you say that we could have the IT person maybe look at this and see if there's an appropriate photo? Did I miss that discussion, or is that something maybe we all think might be a good idea to, where appropriate, to add a visual? Yeah, if that's something that you all would like, we could certainly bring that in. I will say from personal experience, I have some editing abilities on the city website. There's certain pages that I do editing, and where you can put in imagery is not as easy as you would think it would be. But we can certainly try to add pictures where we can, because I totally agree, visuals are great.
Yeah, that was all that I had in my phone. So if anyone has other photos, please.
This is great too. Thank you, Kyle and Heidi.
Alexander, did you have a comment?
I did. I just wanted to say that it's readable. I mean, there's so many websites where it's trying to navigate. You need a shovel and a rake, and it was easily scannable, and I could find the things that I wanted to look at. So I really like that aspect of it. That's paramount, I think. Nobody wants to have to really dig to find anything, but it's beautiful. Looks good.
Maybe we can, as we go through future topics, maybe we could have a reminder somehow to be like, hey, let's throw this on the website, or at least help reminding us to bring that up and ask the question, would this be a good topic to add to the website? So the next step for us then is to recommend this get published, is that right?
Yeah, and I don't know if we need I guess we can have a formal recommendation, but yeah, so the next steps, I'll take your comments from today and the draft that Kyle and Heidi came up. I'll take those to Kevin, who works on the website, and we'll see what all we're able to do and give you guys an update.
Any other thoughts or comments before we move this forward and get it published? Diane?
This is Diane. Okay. I just don't know if the wording looks really good, and so I'm just wondering if you also reviewed it to, so that we have a procedural and intent, also coming from the city, that we're not in any conflict with the link. So would you be that person that would bring it to our attention? Yeah, we can certainly review it to make sure that there's no issues from the city level with language and anything. Thank you.
And are you the one that updates the upcoming events as well, or is that also Kevin?
Like the banners that show up on the website? Oh, okay.
Like these ones here under the schedule of the upcoming events?
Okay, so I do add, and our administrative assistant as well, will add in like a CAC meeting is happening or a planning commission. We don't do all of the ones that the city does.
Just yours?
Yeah, just the ones that our department deals with.
Would that be where we could add possibly the Zoom information meeting?
I think so.
That way it's posted publicly, if people can reference it, that way at least we're putting our effort in to make that a little more accessible.
Yeah, and we did include the Zoom information online for the Renberg meeting to make it easier for people, so I think that is something we can do going forward.
Excellent. Okay, any other thoughts or comments? Okay, well, again, thank you, Kyle and Heidi, excellent work. Let's see here, we didn't have it necessarily on this discussion item, but we did get it in our packet, the code for the chickens. Heidi?
I'm so sorry. I just thought, did people want to submit pictures to put next to their names? If so, great. If not, okay.
those if you want to, go ahead, or, just maybe send them to Amber if you'd like that on there, is that right?
Yeah, I think maybe I'll touch base with Kevin first to see if it'd be easier to just send them directly to him. And I'll check to make sure that that's something he's able to do and add those in. So I'll follow up with you all on the best way to do that if you'd like to include your photos. Or if you have any other photos, like Kyle said, he had one on his phone that he included in there. If you have any other pictures that are CAC related that would be useful to add, that might be good as well.
Okay, so did everybody have a chance to take a look at the chicken code? Was there any thoughts or comments on that at all? Victoria?
What was the fee? They didn't have a fee, they just say a fee.
Correct, yeah. My understanding is that still is to be determined by council, so they haven't set a fee yet.
Yeah, I guess we could wait for committee comments, but I figured it's pretty light tonight, so maybe, if everybody's okay with it, you guys want to just,
Yeah, it says adopted, they should have put the fee in there.
I believe it says somewhere in there to be determined, it's basically to be determined, right?
Maybe it's because they're gonna change it at any time, so they're not gonna put it in here. It says the permit may be changed at any time by the city. So they just leave it open. Because this has already been adopted.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that must be what they're doing.
Yeah, I know they do it separately, and that does make sense, because like with, land use applications, like it doesn't say in our code what the fees are, so you could be right for that, that's why it's not included in there.
Yeah, it says, yeah, it says maybe change it anytime, but it's just gonna take that exclusive and then go from
I
there.
was just curious, 'cause we wanted the low fee.
Yeah, as far as I know, it has not been decided yet.
A couple of the things that I thought maybe, weren't edited was, off under definitions, C, D, and E. Dawn, dusk, and detached, single family dwelling, I don't believe those words show up in anywhere else in the entire code. So why would you use to define dawn or dusk when it doesn't have anything in the code? It will, has to be on page 2, doesn't it? Item E. Those chickens must be kept in a covered enclosed coop between the end of dusk and the start of dawn. So it's on page 2, it's item E. Oh, that's E, okay. Oh, okay, I got it, all right. I missed that one. Good guess, thank you. Yeah, everybody feel good with that code? All right. Diane?
I don't know if it's mentioned in here, and sorry, I guess I didn't print out the code to prepare for this evening. I'm disappointed that the fee, they have a maximum fee if there's, somebody's not in compliance, ended up being $1,000. And, so then, a comment I'll make, I don't think we have, it's not per purview to be able to set that amount. I thought that was high. So most of the council didn't object to that number. Two councilors, opposed that figure.
So, is the violation then like, hey, we tried to work with you for the last 6 months on getting this problem fixed, you still haven't fixed it, so we're gonna set you a fine sort of thing, or is it?
And I'm not sure, because I think that's vague. So I know that the city, the current leadership we have, tries to be more, informational goals than punitive. I just am always looking out for not knowing who that leadership may be in the future, and thinking that, that's the big high fee. but again, I don't think that's something we can, have a say in, just throwing that out there.
Any other comments? Shelley?
I wasn't able to read the code maybe quite so thoroughly, but I didn't notice where they had talked about how long people already owning chickens had to come into compliance with the code. Was that in there and I just missed it?
I don't recall if that's in there or not. I do think there was some discussion of having some leeway in terms of being able to respond quickly under some circumstances, or being able to give people some time to make adjustments under normal circumstances.
David?
I don't remember talking about that in our discussion, but I do remember Chris talking about that when he was talking about when the new ordinance went into effect, there would be about a 6-month timeline for people to come into compliance. Now, that's my remembrance of it.
All right, any other comments on that? Okay, we have a quick meeting tonight. Do we have any, look ahead at anything we might be working on in February, or are we still gonna kind of,
I haven't gotten anything as far as like city council direction yet. I haven't heard anything about that. And, besides the minutes that we're bringing back for February, I don't yet have anything on the agenda for it.
does anybody have any direction that we'd like to take a topic or two in next month? I know it's, kind of interesting times in that, you know, with COVID and everything, being limited to be able to get together, being limited to have public outreach, you know, it's kind of an interesting time for us. And I think possibly limits what we can really tackle and what we can do for projects on our own. But if there's anything else that we wanted to bring up, now's the time to bring up some ideas. We can add it potentially to the agenda for next month. If not, let's go ahead and move on to department reports. Chris?
I did notice one thing in here though, was along the line of what you were saying earlier. I ran through this a few times, I was looking at the definition section, and the definition section is the only place where I see attached single family dwelling. That's kind of it, that's there.
Yeah, see dwelling units. Yeah.
It also defines dwelling units separately.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Okay, department report.
All right, it's pretty short tonight. We already went over the chicken code, so that's done. The town center plan, getting ever closer to being done. It's going to be, brought to planning commission for feedback and comments at their January
capacity? Do you have any clue why a lot of the big poles have been, adding wires and lighting and such?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. I don't know specifically, but, I can certainly ask around and see if I find any information and get back to you guys on it. Thank you.
Any other questions for Amber? Thanks for joining us, John. John Brown, here now. Okay, committee comments. Go ahead and start with Shelley. She's the top one being here.
Thank you, Heidi and Kyle, for all the work on the website. That's outstanding. And just because I don't want it to just get glossed over and not have heard it right, Will, were you talking about wanting to take a year off? Is that what you said?
Oh, I'm sorry, from chair, I've done it for a couple years in a row now. There was some talk about, wanting to switch chairs and term limits. I figured I'd go ahead and take a little time off and let one of you guys step up if you like. Also on a personal note, with this COVID thing and the Zoom meetings, I'm having a really tough time being engaged in the meetings and excited about doing stuff. I really like it when we're together in the group. We have that group energy, and I think it's a lot easier for me personally to kind of connect with it. So I suppose I haven't been like super gung-ho about it lately, and maybe I'm not the best one to lead it during this time. So I figured I would let you guys step up and take over, or take over. Anyway, that was my thought, so.
Okay. Well, so my comment on that is it would make me very sad. But maybe there are alternatives, like for a while you were out and Kyle took over and he did such a great job, or something. We would just, I just really appreciate your leadership and Kyle's leadership, and hope that you stick it in there, stay with it.
I really appreciate that, Shelley. And maybe it's just the winter block,
I'm right there with you. Starting to feel a little like Rocky, you just keep getting hit and keep getting back up, right?
Yeah, so thank you, I appreciate that, Shelley. Any other thoughts or comments or concerns? Okay, thank you. Let's go on to Tim.
Sorry, did you say me? Hey, I've been thinking the last little bit here since you asked about future topics. And one thing I think we may want to think about is spending a little more time looking into aspects of budget, taxes, the financial side of things. And I know we have a separate budget committee, which I'm on, but for this last budget, they met only one time. And I'm not sure what the deal is. We seem to have some ability here on this committee to get to the bottom of issues, discuss things, look at both sides, hear different viewpoints, and be open about that. And not all committees are able to function that way. And this is such a fundamental issue. Finances, budget, taxation. Here it's the middle of winter, and we've just now reactivated the ability to follow through with people who've fallen behind on their utility bills. It's just happened, those kinds of things. Numbers are going up in terms of people who are falling behind on mortgage and property taxes and that kind of thing. And this last budget, in the midst of COVID, we raised the city budget 10% in the middle of a pandemic. Really, calls into question how in tune we're being with what's happening in the community around us and how people are being affected by it. So I just think it might not be a bad thing to think about that, and we can maybe talk about it next time whether we want to take that on. We don't want to, step on the toes of the budget people, but I think for the most part they'd be appreciative of any extra insights. And thoughts we might have. That's it.
So Tim, when you mention that, you have something specific in mind that would be something that we as a group might be able to tackle, or an idea that, you know, we might be able to propose, and if so, would it be like, hey, a recommendation to budget about something that we looked at, or what are your kind of your thoughts and ideas about that?
You know, I'm open. There's just so many factors, and it might be good to, you know, narrow things down a little bit. But so many cities fall into the trap of getting a little bit, you know, growing a little bit, having some success, and then bureaucracy grows, and the end result is they end up over expanding, and then when there's a contraction, you know, everything falls apart and there's a major disaster. And I just would hate for us to slide into something like that. And it's, you know, we've been blessed and we've had some great leadership that's been able to help us through things. But you know, it's good to have a multitude of perspectives and minds, just keeping us in tune with how this is affecting everybody.
I can appreciate that. Yeah, if you have, you know, some specific things you'd like to bring to us.
I'll think about some specific things. Yeah.
And then maybe you can email me and Amber, and then we can see about putting a topic on discussion item on there for next month. You mentioned utility bills and whatnot. I think that's great information to find out where we're at with that. Where is the city looking financially with people falling behind on utility and water payments? And Kyle and I actually spoke earlier today and kind of thought about that financial literacy, you know, sort of information again. And I know we're going to kind of post some of that on the website through our information that we're going to upload here soon. But one of the topics that Kyle and I were kind of talking about is what sort of constraints that we're under with some of these specific projects, is that we're always going to be asked, where do we get the budget to pay for that when we put in some of these programs, right? And so then we're looking at it again, which is an issue that you just brought up, which is the money, the expansion. And then it comes down to, from this group, if there's something that we really super want to tackle, we all have to be completely invested in it, or at least there's somebody who's spearheading that project, spending the time and the energy and the effort, like Kyle and Heidi did with the website. And so as we dive into projects, you know, like this, we do have to really have someone who wants to be able to spearhead the project and take on a good portion of the workload, you know, with input from people, or we have to have a very creative way to fund it or finance like a bigger project where we have somebody that we quote unquote hire to do that work. So those are all kind of things to take into consideration as well. But again, yeah, if there's any specific things that we would like as a group that come from an individual person that has a passion for something, this is a great time to do it, or maybe we're a little bit slower. David, any comments or concerns or questions?
I'd like to follow up with Tim. I sort of like his train of thought, but budget and finance for a city that's a huge, huge issue and does need some drilling down, I feel. Because the city gets guidance from not only their own city commission or city council, but there's also guidance from the League of Oregon Cities and sort of de facto policies on how government should operate to show public accounting and things like that. So I would love to get into this more. So I'm intrigued by that, but it's such a big beast. Other than that, no, I don't have anything. Thank you.
And if you really are interested, we could probably, you know, work out something for the budget committee.
time gonna be, brand new revenue sources that come into the city. One of the most recent ones is the cannabis tax, and from the OLCC, the city gets a certain amount of money of revenue that was never, planned to be had. And so when potentially those new revenue sources come in, if there is a specific budget item that we really want to push or highly recommend that this goes towards, that may be a recommendation from the city. So as we go down that path, if you guys recognize opportunities where maybe there's programs being cut or, potentially additional funds that could fund another project, maybe you guys can help keep an eye on that, or potentially you guys work together to bring an item to us for discussion as well. Thank you, David. Alexander.
Hi, I had a couple things. I was wondering if instead of not being chair, there was a way without bending the physics of parliamentary procedure, you could co-chair. And that would alleviate some of that responsibility of chairing and maybe take out the blahs until spring appears, which is really just around the corner. And the other thing I was wondering was, where is the city with the broadband issue? I'd like us to be able to keep following up on that.
Where's the city with broadband? So the last I heard about it is that the feasibility study that Multnomah County, sponsored came out that looked at it for all of the cities and how much it would cost and everything like that. I haven't heard anything about what the city of Troutdale is doing with that information. I don't know if it's just because I haven't been around people who would be talking about that, but, I don't have an update on that. That's another thing I can ask around, but, yeah.
I guess I'm wondering if there's anything else we could do to move that forward.
Question, thank you.
Anyway, aside from those two items, that's about all I had. I hope that all of you are hopeful for this year. Let us not look behind.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Alexander. Can you say it a little bit louder for us?
Yes, those are the only two items I had for questions, and I hope that we can all look forward and let us not look behind.
Thank you, Alexander.
Goodbye, 2020.
Kyle.
I just wanted to back up sort of support for bringing topics to February's meeting and having maybe some time to discuss goal setting, what we can do in this setting over the course of 2021. And to also chime in on the finances thing, I admittedly have a different view of the finances, the way that the budget committee did things. However, I do really like the idea, or kind of building off of the idea of maybe taking one of those capital projects that the council approved, things that they don't necessarily plan on doing this year, but things that they budgeted for, and perhaps writing a proposal that would convince them to drop one of those for a project that we can move forward with, since they already appropriated the funds. Although I'm sure there would be some issues with that because the money wasn't appropriated for that one thing, but perhaps something to pursue.
So you're saying there's a list of capital projects that have been approved or may be approved or may not be approved, or?
Yeah, there's a large item, or very long list of capital projects that have been in the queue for quite some time, is my understanding, quite some time. And I know that but it's money that they said the city can do this project this year if they see fit to do it. The money is set aside for it. Many of those things don't get done. They're carried over to the next year and the year after. And so would it be possible? And I imagine the answer is no, because that is not what the money was appropriated for. But would it be possible to take the money for that public project and instead put it to a different public project that the CAC can help facilitate? Again, I imagine the answer is no, but why not try?
Or like where you're thinking is maybe we proactively lobby for 2022 or this year. we could then potentially say, hey, we think that this project, you've been putting out is super important. We give a thumbs up to this project, this project, this project, in this sort of order.
It would be the natural next step of that, especially since the budget committee meets in April? That would give us some time to work on a proposal that we could put in front of the budget committee and say, hey, take this line item and turn it into a CAC project that we could work on. But considering we have only 3 maybe meetings before then, we'd have to work quickly.
Well, the other thing is the budget's not given to us until like 2 weeks before the budget committee. So we're not gonna know what's gonna be in it for this coming year. And, the other thing is everybody's welcome to the budget committee meeting, and you're allowed to voice your opinion on what you don't want, what you do want. And I encourage people to come. I mean, we didn't really, I think Paul was there. I think that might have been it for this last budget committee meeting. They give you public time to voice your grievances. But I don't see how we're gonna be able to do anything with the budget when it doesn't come out until a few weeks beforehand.
Yeah, it seems like a really short period of time to do a lot of work.
Yeah, and I mean, they can't get it out sooner, because they work a long time on it, and I mean, they get it out to us on the budget committee as fast as they can. So, I mean, if we have a project that we want, probably won't go into this year's budget, but if we're thinking of something, I mean, big or little, like we did the community garden, we ended up getting a little bit of money for that. And, if it's a big one, we're gonna have to talk more.
Yeah, it would have to be a solid concrete ask before the budget is put together and started to be sent out. And we'll get that in maybe mid April. I don't know if they're going to change things again like they did last year, but I mean, I only have the last 2 years worth of budget docs, but if anyone has maybe the last 5 years worth or more, if there's a single line item that's in all 5, I would suggest targeting that one.
And just to some of the projects that are carried on year for year, it's because if something happens and there's an emergency, you have to have it in your budget. Some of those big items, some of them are things that haven't gotten done, like the bridge, but the bridge might get done this year. So one of the bridges in the park, I can't remember which park.
There definitely, sorry.
Pardon?
There would definitely have to be some intentionality about what line item we would suggest that we would want to replace with something that has a greater public good.
Yeah, it's complicated, and you have to see why they have it in there. But like I said, we can suggest anything we want, I mean, and just the public can too. So, and if you see something you don't like, you can come and say, why are you doing it? And then we discuss it. So.
Cool, thank you. Heidi?
Nothing to say. Good evening.
Diane?
I wanted to say, thank you, Shelley, for reaching out before Christmas. I was very busy, but that was a cheery note, so, thanks for that. And I'd also like to, tell everybody, Happy New Year. So, yeah, as happy as it can be, but, and then, and I do want to say that, being on CAC, it'd be really nice if we got to meet our mayor. So if we could just have him in, I couldn't think of what frame, but, I do believe that, it's just good to interact, with council. So, it could be quite informal, but it would be nice if he was a guest here and we got to chat with him a bit. It'd just be really cool. And, I look forward to thinking about some goals for, website at some point that Salt had some kits, possibly that if you wanted to walk on your own and you wanted to pick up garbage safely, that was available to us, and I think our IT guys put that out there. If you can maybe check on that.
Yeah, I can look.
Okay, great, because I thought maybe, I don't know, if COVID's done or whatever, you know, if we're walking during the summer or something, maybe that might be a nice PhD project for a day, to do a little cleanup and be aware, and we can post it on our page, and then let the rest of the community know too, that while they're walking, they can, add to the, you know, cleaning up of our community, which, there's quite a bit of garbage, headed, across, the Sandy River, on that bridge and other areas, so thought that it might be something that's fun, that we could be proactive in, and then, to set examples to the community, and then just as informational, so we can let them know about it as well. That's it for me.
Thank you, Dana. John Brown. You good? Have anything for us? Thank you. Victoria.
I like that idea. I think we should get the new council members in here, if they come and just introduce themselves and the mayor.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have anything going for the next meeting, maybe they could talk in. But they should get to know us.
I like it.
I like that idea.
We invite, mayor and any council that want to come and say hi and introduce themselves.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily just new ones, but anybody that would like to.
Yeah, I can certainly send out some invites and see if that would be possible.
Chris. Actually, you can stay muted, but talking here.
First, I just wanted to, wish everyone a happy new year, and I also thought I should mention that I think when we're meeting, we should stay on Zoom.
As in when we went away and talked about the chickens?
Not necessarily what I meant.
Oh, okay. Maybe you and I can chat afterwards? Cool, thank you. All right, just want to say, thank you everyone for being here tonight. I know it's a quick and short one tonight. I'm sure there'll be some times that we're gonna go till 10 o'clock this year, so enjoy this one, and I appreciate it, and Happy New Year as well. See you next month.
Happy New Year.